Thank you, Mr. Bibic, for being here.
After previous appearances were put off, the Canadian Heritage Committee issued a summons to the head of Bell Canada to explain why its parent company, BCE, had to lay off several thousand workers in the last year, a company worth $40 billion that receives hundreds of millions from the government.
Yet, this is a company that just laid off 6,100 of those taxpayers. Is that justified?
I would think that we'd want strong Canadian companies that can continue to employ tens of thousands of Canadians. We employ 40,000 Canadians with good paying jobs.
When you eliminate jobs across this country, particularly of journalists in small communities, how do you expect those communities' voices to be heard?
Mirko Bibic says the company is spending more and hiring more journalists than ever before. As for the layoffs,
we complied with all the requirements with respect to federal labor laws in this respect.
It became contentious when it took several minutes for the witnesses to explain clearly the notice given to government for the layoffs.
Do you think this is a joke? Do you enjoy wasting my time?
Roughly 4,800 jobs.
Layoffs at Bell's CTV network threw some of their most experienced journalists out of work, knocked TV news programs off the air, and prompted a sell-off of dozens of radio stations, many in BC, causing an uproar.
The fact that they cannot find it possible, with all of their MBAs, to operate a few local news stations.
And we need a level playing field.
While Mirko Bibic may be a visible corporate symbol of job cuts in the news business, Bell's layoffs are a symptom of wider losses in Canadian journalism, from international news to small-town City Hall, as advertising dollars have fled to major social media companies.
I don't think there's a rosy outlook for journalism in Canada.
This former journalist and public policy expert says Bell can't be blamed for wanting to cut losses, but adds there is a need for innovation in journalism in this country.
It's not a viable business for a lot of organizations, large and small. If Canadians want news about Canada, about their own country, we're going to have to figure out answers to this, which might include public money as we have, but which will include innovation as well.
Innovation and new models, says Ed Greenspan, to incentivize a new era in journalism in Canada, because he says without news coverage and without Canadians being informed, democracy cannot work in this country. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.